There's one principle in Stoic philosophy that, when lived fully, makes women respect you instantly, not because it's a trick, not because it's manipulative, but because it reflects real masculine power. It's not about being cold. It's not about controlling her. It's not even about impressing her. It's about this: be indifferent to what doesn't depend on you. That one idea changes everything, because most men lose respect by chasing what's outside their control, especially in relationships. But the man who doesn't react to what he can't control, he becomes dangerously grounded. Let's break this down. Most men lose a woman's respect by reacting to things they can't control. Her tone changes. He gets defensive. She pulls away. He chases harder. She tests him. He explains, pleads, overcompensates, all because he's trying to manage her moods, her behavior, her approval. But here's what the Stoic knows. The moment you try to control the uncontrollable, you give away your power. You stop leading. You start performing. You stop anchoring the moment. You start chasing comfort. And in that shift, she feels it. Not consciously, maybe, but her body knows you just collapsed. And once respect drops, attraction soon follows. Indifference in Stoicism isn't about being cold. It's about being clear. Clear on what's yours to own and what isn't. Clear on what deserves your energy and what doesn't move you at all. So when she tests you and you stay calm, not to manipulate, but because her test isn't yours to fix, you gain ground. When she pulls away and you hold posture, not to punish, but because her mood doesn't dictate your motion, you gain weight. This isn't emotional shutdown, it's emotional leadership. You don't reject feeling, you master your response. You don't stop caring, you stop chasing control. And that's when she sees it. You're not trying to win her. You're simply not willing to lose yourself. You'll spot a man who hasn't embodied this principle by how easily he shifts. One cold text, he overthinks all day. One ignored call, he spirals. One mood swing, he changes his entire approach. He's not grounded, he's reactive. His tone changes based on hers. His confidence rises and falls with her interest. His value isn't built on his mission, it's built on her validation. That's why she loses respect. Because she doesn't feel a man, she feels a mirror. A man who reflects her chaos instead of leading through it. And even if she likes him, she can't trust him. Not deeply, not fully, not in the way that makes her submit to his frame. The shift happens the moment he stops reacting and starts rooting. She pulls away. He doesn't chase. She tests his tone. He doesn't flinch. She acts cold. He stays clear, warm, and unmoved. Not to play games, not to punish, but because he's no longer outsourcing control of his inner world. He knows her behavior is hers, his response is his, and respect grows where emotional control holds. Now she sees him differently. She senses he's not performative, he's present. She feels the weight in his silence. She feels the confidence in his calm. And that calm? It doesn't just earn attention, it commands respect. Don't confuse Stoic indifference with emotional numbness. One repels her, the other grounds her. The emotionally numb man, he disconnects to protect himself. He avoids intimacy out of fear. He stays silent, not from strength, but from shut down. But the Stoic man, he feels everything, but isn't ruled by anything. He shows up fully, but doesn't chase a reaction. He's not cold, he's calm. And women feel that difference instantly. The cold man creates distance, the Stoic man creates trust. because he can handle her feelings without making them about him. And when she sees that, respect is no longer optional. It becomes instinctual. In conflict, this principle becomes everything. She raises her voice. He lowers his. She gets emotional. He stays intentional. She spirals. He stays centered. Not to dominate, not to win, but to lead the emotional tone of the relationship. He doesn't match chaos with chaos. He doesn't get baited into drama. He doesn't explain himself into exhaustion. Instead, he pauses. He speaks less, but each word lands deeper. He leads the moment back to clarity, without force, without fear. And that frame, it tells her, I'm not here to control you. I'm here to not be controlled by you. And that's what shifts the power dynamic permanently. This principle doesn't just build respect, it magnifies attraction. Because nothing pulls a woman in like a man who isn't trying to pull her in. He's not seeking reassurance. He's not adjusting his tone to keep her. He's not performing affection for approval. He's simply there, fully grounded, fully present, fully unattached to outcome. That energy, it's rare, and women feel it. It says, I enjoy you, but I don't need you. I see you, but I won't chase you. I care, but I'll never collapse to keep you. And in a world full of emotional beggars, that kind of presence is irresistible. Over time, this Stoic principle reshapes the entire relationship dynamic. There's less drama, less power struggle, less emotional manipulation. Why? Because she trusts your frame. She trusts that her storms won't shake you. She trusts that you won't abandon yourself to soothe her. So she stops testing. She opens deeper. She relaxes into your leadership. Not because you demand respect, but because you live in a way that commands it. This is how emotional security is built. Not through endless reassurance, but through non-reactivity. You stop trying to keep her, and she chooses to stay because your presence doesn't need her to. When you live by this principle, your confidence shifts from performance to presence. You stop chasing perfect words. You stop managing everyone's mood. You stop losing sleep over what's outside your reach. And you gain something better: clarity, calm, self-trust. Now you know, if she stays or goes, you're still grounded. If the conversation turns cold, you're still composed. If things don't go your way, you're still aligned. That kind of internal power isn't loud. It doesn't need to be. It's quiet. It's steady. It's felt. And when your confidence is built on what you control, nothing and no one can shake it. Part 11. That's why real confidence doesn't show up as control over others. It shows up as control over yourself. You stop needing her approval to feel secure. You stop adjusting your behavior to win her affection. You stop performing and start simply being. And ironically, that's when attraction begins. Because she doesn't feel a man trying to impress her. She feels a man comfortable in his own skin, rooted, present, certain. The less you chase, the more magnetic you become. Not because you're trying to play hard to get, but because you're genuinely not trying. You're not performing. You're not pretending. You're not pushing. You're just living by principle. And that kind of stillness, it's unforgettable. The man who stops reacting to what he can't control becomes unshakable. Not because he's perfect, not because he's emotionless, but because he's anchored in truth. He doesn't get pulled into moods. He doesn't chase validation. He doesn't fold under pressure. And that energy, it doesn't just change how she sees you, it changes how you see yourself. You're no longer waiting for permission to feel like a man. You're living as one. If you're building this kind of internal power, hit subscribe and turn on the bell. The next drops will help you sharpen emotional clarity, masculine presence, and inner freedom, so you never beg for respect again. Respect isn't something you demand. It's something you embody. It shows in your silence, in your stillness, in your refusal to chase what was never yours to hold. The man who lives by this principle doesn't just feel calm, he becomes calming. She tests him. He doesn't flinch. She questions him. He doesn't over-explain. She pulls away. He doesn't panic, because he understands. Control is an illusion. Presence is power. And when you build your life around what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, your standards, you stop living for reaction and start moving from respect. The man who's indifferent to what doesn't depend on him becomes dangerous in the best way. He doesn't chase. He doesn't collapse. He doesn't need to manage anyone's perception. He simply moves with clarity. That's what makes his presence respected. Not because he's trying to lead, but because his energy makes others want to follow. This is the power of living Stoic. And once you embody it, your relationships, your energy, and your peace will never be the same again. What's one thing you've been trying to control that's actually outside your power? Drop it in the comments and free yourself from it right now. And if this hit home, don't miss Men Who Control Their Emotions Dominate in Relationships and How to Kill Emotional Dependency and Regain Your Power. They'll reinforce your frame and help you lead from presence, not performance.